you scratching your head. Welcome to our latest edition of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, baseball play-by-play announcer, show host, spending times in the minors calling games in Batavia, New York, Wilmington, Delaware, Staten Island, New York, Aberdeen, Maryland, 6 college baseball regionals for the ESPN networks, covered the inaugural World Baseball Classic in Tokyo, Japan, and Scottsdale, Arizona, USA baseball events in Cary, North Carolina, Houston, and Minneapolis. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and where Gabby Hurlbut produces in-depth Red Sox content Monday through Friday. Not only are we providing reaction, we'd like you to join the conversation as well. You can participate in the YouTube channel live chat. You can throw your comments in there. Be sure to introduce yourself to us as well. Share your thoughts on tonight's Sox victory. A lot to like. A couple of things you'd like to be better. Yes, you would have liked it to have been an 11-2 final score. Turns out 12-9 the final score. And the Red Sox do take the opener against the Oakland A's. Our latest episode of the Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as playoffs wind down. The sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Well, a 5-1 road trip, and Brayan Bello was solid in his last start against the Miami Marlins. Bello tonight against the Oakland A's, giving up a couple of runs in the first inning. Just like that, 2-0 A's after the first half inning. But as we like to say on occasion, it was a short-lived lead for the Oakland A's. Bottom one, Red Sox answer. Now facing Joey Estes, who last time went the distance with a shutout against the Angels. Jarren Duran, 4 for 29 with a double on the road trip. Speaking of doubles, Duran leadoff double, scored on a single by David Hamilton. O'Neill with a double. That set up runners at second and third. Rafael Devers, 2-run single, 4 hitters in. And the Red Sox were up 3-2. Devers with the 2 RBIs in the first inning. Now, 2 RBIs in 7 of his last 8 games, 19 RBIs, now 20 RBIs, because Devers would come through in the Sox' big second inning. Dom Smith led off the second. Smith got things going, a leadoff walk. Scored from first base on a triple by Ceddanne Rafaela. That put the Red Sox up 4-2. They were far from done. Duran, sac fly, 41st RBI in the season. O'Neill then hit by a pitch with 2 outs. And that's where the wheels fell off the wagon for Estes and the A's. O'Neill hit by a pitch. Devers RBI double, 6-2. Devers, again, 3 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats, 20 runs batted in now over his last 14 games. New pitcher, Masa Yoshida, RBI base hit. That scored Devers, 7-2 Red Sox. Not done. Wilyer Abreu, big blast, breaking an 0 for 16 at the plate. Abreu, his home run, a 3-run shot going 430 feet, his 7th on the season. Dom Smith with Abreu going back-to-back. Smith hitting a home run, 8-run second inning for the Sox, 6 runs scoring with 2 outs. That 2-out magic, you've got to love it. And the Red Sox, 8 runs total. Last time they had 8 runs in an inning at Fenway, you have to go all the way back to May of 2019. So the Red Sox do end up picking up the victory. We'll talk about Trey Wingenter making his debut. We're also going to get into Brayan Bello here in just a moment, as well, as he struck out a career-high 11. And some of those things that you love about Bello, wow, he struck out the first 10 outs he recorded via the strikeout. Terrific. Works into the 6th inning. Okay, we'll take that. But again, just, okay, ends up giving up 5 runs. So you look at his final line and you're like, what the heck happened here? Again, he struck out the first 10 outs that he recorded by the strikeout. 11 total, establishing a new career high. With the win, Red Sox now 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. 50-40 through their first 90. They've won 7 of 8. 17 wins, 6 losses over their last 23. Perfect 4-0 so far this season against the A's. And right now you're thinking, JP Sears and then TBA on Thursday for the finale. You've got Pivetta and Houck. And you want to see both those guys pitch effectively and keep the offense going. Estes did not make it out of the second inning. So you're already deep into their bullpen. You're already ready to go against their bullpen. You're going to see plenty of their bullpen over the next couple of days. Again, they're TBA for Thursday. So the Sox pick up the victory. And here's one on the Sox. They've won the series opener tonight. And it's the first time, or rather just the second time in the last 10 home series where they've come off a road trip, first game of the homestand, where they picked up a victory. Alex Cora also a milestone. He'll approach one as well. He's now 10 games away from 500 managerial victories with the Red Sox organization. But number 490 on Tuesday night for Alex Cora, he passes Billy Carrigan, and Alex Cora now all alone, fourth time on the Sox managerial list for victories in club history. So the Red Sox do pick up the victory. We'll get into numbers tonight. We've got an interesting one, a little history, little Red Sox history involving Tanner Houck and how things can play out for Houck. He'll start the finale on Thursday against the A's. But 13 hits total, 7 extra base hits. Ceddanne Rafaela, the 1 home run in the game for the Red Sox, part of that 8-run second inning. And the Red Sox pick up the victory. Duran double again, kind of a rough road trip for Duran overall, especially in the 3 games in New York against the Yankees. But again, a 5-1 road trip where Duran kind of scuffled at the plate, got things going in the very first inning, led off with a double. Hamilton, 2 hits, a walk, RBI, run scored. O'Neill, double, 2 runs scored. Rafael Devers, a couple of hits, double, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. And then Rafaela, 2 hits, triple RBI. And Abreu, I mentioned, the home run and knocking in 4, had an RBI with a sac fly late. It turned out that was somewhat important because Zach Geloff got a home run in the 9th inning off the new guy, Trey Wingenter, making his Sox debut, picked up from the Tigers in a minor league deal over the weekend, and Wingenter gave up the 3-run home run. Kenley Jansen was at least up and throwing. He was tossing lightly, loosening up on a hot night like that. They'll track that, and they'll let the coaching staff know from the bullpen what he exactly did down there. But you did not want Kenley Jansen up in that inning, in that 9th inning. But again, Brayan Bello getting into his start. 1-out single in the first, RBI double from Brent Rooker, and 1-0, 3 batters in for the Oakland A's. And then a 2-out RBI single off the bat of Shea Langoliers. That made it 2-0. And Bello gave up the 2 runs in the first, but also struck out 3 batters as well. Second inning, working with the lead for the first time. Shaky ended up leaving runners at second and third, but again, striking out 3 in the inning through 28 pitches in that second inning. Now, in the third, he struck out the side in order, did not give up a base runner, and struck out 3 in a row on 13 pitches. The A's, similar recently to the Cincinnati Reds, to the Marlins as well, their team, they'll swing outside the strike zone. They did that tonight against Brayan Bello. Again, 10 strikeouts recorded for his first 10 outs of the game, 11 strikeouts total. In the 4th inning, picked up his 10th strikeout, then struck out J.J. Bleday for his 11th of the game. Bello, the 11 Ks, 5th inning, gave up a single, then got a ground ball double play to end the inning. 6th inning, gave up the 3-run home run to Lawrence Butler. That made it 11-5, and the Red Sox do prevail, winning the game by a score of 12-9. Weissert gave up a run in the 7th inning, 3 runs for the A's in the 9th inning, but the Red Sox do pick up the win again. 13 hits, 7 extra base hits for the Red Sox in the win. And now 10 over 500 for the first time this season. You got Nick Pivetta on the mound on Wednesday with a chance to clinch the series by winning the first 2 games of the series against an A's team that, they were 17-17 at one point. And after that, they just went downhill quickly. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. And coming up, we're going to get into Rafael Devers. He made a decision, and it was announced on Tuesday he will not participate in the All-Star game next Tuesday in Arlington, Texas. And a scenario where Tanner Houck could possibly join some Red Sox elite company as well. That's next. Latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, I love sports. You love sports. I love them so much. You love them so much. Never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games. We know that. And the sports just aren't sportsing like we want them to. But FanDuel lets you and me keep the sports going whenever we want. All you have to do is open up the app. Dream up bets anytime. that we're in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Tuesday, FanDuel had the Red Sox at plus 5,000 to win the World Series. Red Sox were minus 190 to win the Tuesday's opener against the A's. Check mark on that one. Rafael Devers was plus 215 to hit a home run. Did not happen, but he did have 3 RBIs. Jarren Duran was minus 240 to score a run. He did that. 2 batters in, he scored a run. So you check that one off. And then Brayan Bello was minus 108 for the over on 5.5 strikeouts. Struck out 10 in a row for his first 10 outs, 11 strikeouts total for his 11 Ks in the ball game for the Red Sox. So the Red Sox, again, 13 hits, 7 extra base hits, and the Red Sox 10 over for the first time this season. We're going to get into Rafael Devers. We're going to get into Tanner Houck. We're going to get into some roster moves that were made as well by the Red Sox leading into Tuesday's opener against the Oakland A's at Fenway Park. 31,826, the paid attendance at Fenway for the opener against the A's. So next Tuesday, news coming down. Alex Cora did share it with the media. Red Sox letting Major League Baseball know that Devers is not going to participate. He will not play in the All-Star game next Tuesday in Arlington, Texas. Jordan Westberg of the Orioles has already replaced Rafael Devers on the American League roster. Alex Cora sharing with the media prior to Tuesday's game. Devers dealing with what is a bothersome left shoulder. He's been dealing with it since early on in the season. It seems like it's something that he's going to be able to play through for the season, but he's not going to play in the All-Star game. And you know what? Named to the All-Star game, and you go from there. Would have been great to see him in the lineup. Would have been great to see him come into the game as a reserve and then have some sort of positive effect on the game next Tuesday. But more important, rest up, get that shoulder. It's not going to be 100%. I don't think it will ever be 100% for the season. I don't even know the severity of it, and I don't think the Red Sox are going to tell us what the severity of the injury is. But if it's something that he can monitor and play through, you go do it. Now, Tanner Houck is scheduled to start the series finale on Thursday against Oakland. That would line him up. If he was going to make the next start, Tuesday would be his scheduled start to pitch. So does Tanner Houck become the first Red Sox pitcher to start an All-Star game since 2018 when Chris Sale started his second straight All-Star game for the American League and the Red Sox? 2017, Sale did it in Miami. And then 2018, he did it in Washington, D.C. And prior to that, you have to go back to 2002. Derek Lowe starting for the Red Sox in the American League in the All-Star game in Milwaukee. I think that's the one that ended in a tie with Bud Selig in attendance. And then you go from there. Pedro started in 1999 at Fenway Park. That's the year the Red Sox 25 years ago celebrated at Fenway, hosting the All-Star game. Looked it up in the media guide, and Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez started only one All-Star game as a member of the Red Sox organization. If Houck gets the start, again, he probably goes 1 inning, maybe 2, but I would figure 1 inning. They would make Bruce Bochy, Texas Rangers manager, would make the phone call to the Red Sox, pay the courtesy call to Alex Cora. And I think Alex Cora would say, you know what? First-time All-Star, that's a big deal to start the All-Star game. It used to be where if you started the All-Star game for either league, you went 3 innings. That's not the case anymore. Usually it's 1-1-1. Maybe a guy gets in there for 2, depending on how things play out. Pitcher gets roughed up, taken out in the middle of an inning or something like that. But I would think that Alex Cora would say, you know what, yeah, but we want him to go 1 inning, and that's it. And maybe, hey, this is how many pitches we want, and that's it. But I think it would be a great honor for Tanner Houck to start the All-Star game. A lot of things are no longer. Starting the All-Star game, I think that's a big deal. I think if Tanner Houck can join Pedro, Derek Lowe, Chris Sale, Roger Clemens, and you go back, Billy Monboquette started an All-Star game for the Red Sox a long, long time ago. Drop that name right there for you, Mambo. But I think that would be something. It lines up where Houck, that's his scheduled day to pitch. We'll see what happens. But look that up, was a little curious. Give you a little what I would call useless baseball information. Take it, use it as your own. Reference me, no matter. So Rafael Devers, not going to play for the American League in the All-Star game next Tuesday in Arlington, Texas. Alex Spear, Boston Globe, Tristan Casas will hit off a tee this week. That was a tweet that Alex Spear sent out prior to the game. Team has never really set a timeline with Tristan Casas. He shared his progress from time to time. It hasn't always necessarily been 100% accurate. And at one point, I think right now we're looking at August 1st at the earliest, realistically. Because again, he's been taking dry swings. He's been taking his own kind of swings. He's been taking his approach to this with the Red Sox as well, a part of it, of course. But, at one point we were thinking at some point in June, then July 1. That's passed. Before the All-Star break, that's not going to happen. So really still no timeline for Triston Casas. The update on Casas is there's still really no update because he'll hit off a tee. Then he'll take some batting practice, then minor league rehab assignment as well. Not sure if it does or not, but I'm starting to wonder if this becomes a thing or more of a thing at some point in time with Triston Casas. Cam Boozer sent down to AAA on Monday. Boozer had worked 9 straight scoreless outings out of the Sox pen, but he goes down. And so we've seen some moves this year where it's a matter of, hey, go down, keep pitching. Pitch every 2 out of 3 days if you're a reliever. Extend yourself, all those different things. So Boozer goes down to AAA on Monday. Emmanuel Valdez option to AAA Tuesday. Jamie Westbrook back up with the big league club. Trey Wingenter, we saw him make his big league debut, or not big league debut, but his Sox debut in the 12-9 victory against the A's on Tuesday night. Wingenter picked up from the Tigers over the weekend in a deal involving a minor league pitcher and also added to the active roster, wearing number 61. One other move that was made, Naoyuki Uwasawa, pardon me. I think I got that right. Also designated for assignment as well. Now, Brian Mata, I finally bring this one up. He's closing in on ending his rehab assignment. Mata is out of options, so healthy, and that rehab assignment ends at the end of the All-Star break next week. So the Red Sox still have some time here. And I'm not sure if AAA has the All-Star break off. I think they do next week, so he probably pitch at least one more time in relief in the minors somewhere, either AA Portland or AAA Worcester, I would imagine. But he's going to have to be activated to the big league roster or designated for assignment. I don't think that would be a move they'd want to do. You give him an opportunity. Other guys have gotten opportunities, not only with the Red Sox, but other clubs around baseball. You see a lot of transactions with relief pitchers, and a lot of teams, Wingenter might be one of those guys. You throw a dart on the wall. You see if you hit with them, even if it's for a few weeks, if he can give you some solid outings. But, Mata, one-time, big-time prospect. He's pitched with the Florida Complex League this year, Greenville, Portland, and AAA Worcester. Again, a decision on Mata does not really have to be made until next week, but the clock is ticking. He's dealt with a bunch of injuries over the last couple of years, but could be a nice addition to the bullpen after the All-Star break. And a guy who can go and give you, a 2-inning outing or a 3-inning outing and shut the door the way they've had Chase Anderson do a couple of times on occasion this year. Keller as well. So some of the moves and some of the things on Devers and possibility of Tanner Houck starting the All-Star game next Tuesday at Globe Life in Arlington, Texas. Reminder, Locked On Sports, free 24/7 streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channel app as well. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Also, our Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you and part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. And we've been getting great numbers. We really have. We've been getting some terrific numbers across the board with our podcast. We do appreciate that. Word of mouth advertising, always appreciated and encouraged. Share us with your fellow Red Sox fans. Share us with your baseball fans as well. But still trying to build the numbers with the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, with going live after each and every Red Sox game throughout the course of the season as well. Numbers of the night. Got a couple of good ones for you. I challenge myself to give you numbers of the night that you're not just going to see in the box score or just trends that have continued over a couple of weeks with the Sox. Locked On Red Sox postcast, 12-9 victory for the Red Sox in the series opener against the Oakland A's. And 10 games over 500 for the first time this year for Alex Cora's club. And he wins his 490th managerial win as the Red Sox skipper. Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, Prize Picks, just you against the numbers. We're going to have some of those numbers coming up here. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player snap projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends. Become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week. From lowering select players' stats projections on Tuesdays to helping your lineup hit or getting your entry fee back if you have a losing lineup on Friday. Download the Prize Pick app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. All right, our Locked On Red Sox postcast also brought to you by Tax Network USA. Here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast, we do provide ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team. Whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs, it is year-round. And you do know what else is year-round as well, collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS is going to stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, even seize your property. Do not let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and the tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that do require tax planning, or if you finally hit that parlay this season and you need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit Tax Network USA website at tnusa.com/lockedon. And be sure to mention our Locked On Red Sox postcast at checkout. You are going to receive a $250 discount off of their services. Sox pick up the win. Rafael Devers, another nice night at the plate for the Red Sox with 3 base hits. Devers continues to hit. Red Sox continue to win baseball games, and now 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. Just one loss, that this past Saturday in New York against the Yankees in the month of July. So we get into numbers of the night. Red Sox do pick up the victory, 12-9. Yes, Trey Wing enter the game. Sox debut, 30-year-old right-hander giving up a home run to Zach Geloff in the 9th inning, but the Red Sox do win it by a score of 12-9. So some of our numbers of the night. Want to get back up to my game summary here. That's the one with the red ink right in front of us. Let's get there. 10 games over 500. I've mentioned that a couple of times. But how about 1 through 9? 1 through 9. Yeah, 1 through 9. You don't see it every day. Every hitter in the starting lineup, every single batter in the starting lineup had at least 1 hit and 1 run scored. And I thought, and hey, we're in segment number 3, by the way, my first Nesson reference, Dave O'Brien, Kevin Youkilis. You mentioned it. Hey, at that point, kind of a laugher, 11 runs, A's, yeah, they can get back into it. They got back into it a little bit. Abreu, RBI with a sac fly in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it turned out to be a 3-run victory for the Red Sox. But, Uke on the Nesson, I call him Uke. Kevin Youkilis mentioned, this might be an opportunity to get some of these guys off their feet. Maybe Duran, maybe Rafael Devers. Devers to get a plate appearance in that 8th inning. I believe he was the one who walked and scored on the sac fly by Wilyer Abreu, who had the 3-run home run and 4 RBIs total. But the 1 through 9, get back to that. Every hitter in the lineup had at least 1 base hit. Every hitter in the lineup had at least 1 run scored. I mentioned Tristan Casas in the last segment, hopefully starting to head off the tee, hopefully starting to take the next step towards coming back and being the Red Sox lineup. At this point in time, you got to think August 1st or later. You're not even thinking July right now for Tristan Casas because he's going to need to get some at-bats in the minor leagues. And hopefully at this point, he's got everything else. All the boxes are checked. Okay, now we're going to take some swings off the mat. But Dom Smith, tell you what, Casas comes back, and I wonder, especially with the injury to Casas, do you somehow, some way, try to find a way to keep Dom Smith on the roster? Because if Casas goes down and you have to perhaps designate Dominic Smith for assignment, he could be picked up by another team if you take him off the 40-man roster. And again, this is speculation, but I think Dom Smith is playing to the fact of, you know what? You want to keep this guy. I don't believe he would have any options to go down. So how do you try to maybe figure out a way? Because if Casas comes back and at some point maybe re-aggravates that injury, if he goes down in August, you're in trouble at the first base position. And Smith is going to make you bang your head against the wall every once in a while. But you know, he's also done some things of late as well where you're like, you know what, he's now part of this ball club. And Alex Cora kind of said that about Emmanuel Valdez as well. He'll be back. He's got a bat, a little shaky defensively. Smith bat, sometimes shaky defensively, and not just physical errors, but just mental errors that'll kind of drive you crazy. But these guys have played themselves in. They're part of the season. Just something to think about. Pivetta, Sears, the pitching matchup. Sox are going to face a lefty in J.P. Sears for Game 2 of the series Wednesday night at Fenway Park. Sears, 5-7 record, 4.74 ERA. So an ERA over 5.5, whip of over 1.2, 1.27. Devers, 1 for 3 career against J.P. Sears. Masa Yoshida, 0 for 2. Rob Refsnyder, 0 for 2. Not a lot of at-bats. Duran does not have an at-bat against J.P. Sears, a lefty. And then you've got Tyler O'Neill, just 1 at-bat. So far. Sears this year has gone 4 outings without allowing a run. He's gone 8 outings this season with giving up no runs or just 1 run. And he was 5 scoreless last Thursday against the Angels, had 6 strikeouts. The club had lost his 4 starts prior to that. And they are 7-11 this year with J.P. Sears making the start. And they were 0-5 in his previous 5 outings, now 2-0 in his last 2 starts. Nick Pivetta, we know what he did last time on Independence Day, last Thursday in the finale against the Marlins. He took a no decision. Red Sox ended up winning the next innings, but Pivetta had a no-no through 6 2/3 innings. Jesus Sanchez finally got him for a triple. Pivetta, great career numbers against Oakland. 6-0, 0.71 ERA, 38 innings against the A's in his career, 44 strikeouts, 16 hits, 10 walks total in those 38 innings. So he's allowed just in the hits and walk category, he's allowed just 26 base runners. Last Thursday, again, terrific in the start against the Miami Marlins, went 7 innings, gave up the 1 hit, did not give up a run, walked 2, struck out 10 for the second time this year. Back in early April at Oakland, Red Sox won the game 1-0. Pivetta went 5 scoreless, gave up 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 3. And not giving up a run. J.J. Bleday, 1 for 4 career against Nick Pivetta. Zach Geloff, who had the 3-run home run against Wing Enter in the 9th inning Tuesday night to make it a 12-9 ball game. That turned out to be the final. Geloff, 0 for 4 in his career. I can go down those roads. Those little extra commas in there, throw the little extra note in a sentence. Long-winded run-on sentences. Langoliers, 1 for 4 career with a double against Pivetta. And Brett Rooker, we'll see if he's in the lineup. You would think he'd be in the lineup. But Rooker is 0 for 6 in his career with 5 strikeouts against Nick Pivetta. So the Red Sox do pick up the victory. 10 games over 500 this season, now 50-40 through their first 90 of the season. Some moves that were made. Tanner Houck, does he start for the American League in the All-Star game next Tuesday? We'll see what Bruce Bochy decides on that one in the coming days. I'm sure if that's in consideration, he'll be making a phone call to manager Alex Cora. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast follows each and every Red Sox game all season long. We do thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast. We continue to grow that number. Love it. Over 600 over the weekend. Also available with our Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel as well. No comments part of the live chat. We'll get you going. We'll get you going sooner or later. But again, we are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. A's Red Sox continue their series Wednesday night at Fenway Park. We will be on within minutes of the last out with our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. Locked On Sports Boston, the #1 place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Boston teams every day.